If you've been watching my channel for a while now, you probably heard me mention Moomoo quite a few times. It's actually the main investing platform I personally use to buy shares in Australia. In fact, in 2025, it became the most downloaded investing platform in Australia, which shows how many Australian investors are starting to use it. So in this video, I'm going to give you a full walkthrough of the Moomoo platform. I'll show you how the app works, some of the key features Australian investors care about, and how beginners can buy their first stock or ETF step by step. Let's get straight into it. Moomoo is an investing app that lets Australians buy and sell Australian shares and ETFs, US shares and ETFs, and Hong Kong stocks, all from one platform. In Australia, the platform is operated by Moomoo Securities Australia, which holds an Australian financial services license. This means the company must follow Australian financial regulations designed to protect investors. Moomoo is also owned by Futu Holdings, a global fintech company listed on the Nasdaq on the US stock market with a market value of around 20 billion USD. So between being backed by a large publicly listed company and holding a financial services license, the platform operates under strict regulation and financial standards. That's one of the reasons many investors feel comfortable using it here in Australia. I'll now show you 5 key features of Moomoo and why I think it's so popular with Australian investors. Feature 1. CHESS-sponsored ASX shares. One thing Australian investors care about when choosing a broker is CHESS sponsorship. Moomoo offers CHESS-sponsored trading for Australian shares. This means your ASX shares are registered in your own name under your own holder identification number through the ASX CHESS system. This gives investors direct ownership of their shares, transparency through the ASX share registry, and extra peace of mind. It's worth mentioning that not all investing platforms in Australia offer CHESS sponsorship. Some platforms use what's called a custodian model, where the shares are technically held under the broker's name on your behalf, rather than directly under your own name. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with this custodian model. Many large platforms use it, but some Australian investors prefer CHESS because it means their shares are registered directly to them through the ASX system. So if direct ownership and transparency are important to you, CHESS sponsorship can be a nice feature to have. Feature 2. Low brokerage fees. Another big reason people use Moomoo is the low brokerage fees. For Australian shares, brokerage starts from around $3 per trade or 0.03% of the trade value, whichever is higher. To put this into perspective, if you look at the comparison on Moomoo's pricing page, a $5,000 trade on the platform will cost about $3, while some traditional bank brokers charge around $15 to $19 for the same trade. For larger trades, the difference can become even bigger. For example, a $50,000 trade might cost about $15 on Moomoo, compared to $55 to $60 with some major bank brokers. So if you invest regularly, those savings on brokerage fees can add up over time. For US shares, the fees are also very competitive, starting at around 99 cents US per trade, which makes it easier for Australians to invest in global companies. And importantly, the platform also doesn't charge opening or inactivity fees, which helps keep overall costs low for long-term investors. Feature 3. Global investing in one app. Another useful feature of Moomoo is that it lets you invest in multiple markets from the same app. You can buy Australian companies on the ASX, major US stocks like Apple, Tesla, Nvidia, Amazon, and Microsoft, global ETFs that track markets around the world, and also Hong Kong listed companies, all without needing to open a separate brokerage account. This makes it much easier to build a diversified portfolio. For example, you could choose to hold Australian companies for dividends and franking credits, invest in US tech companies for global growth, and add international ETFs or broad diversification, all inside the same platform. Instead of managing different brokers, different apps, and different logins, everything sits in one place. You can see your portfolio, your investments, and your performance across multiple markets in a single dashboard. For beginners especially, that simplicity can make investing feel much easier to manage. And as your portfolio grows over time, having access to global markets from one platform gives you much more flexibility when choosing to invest. Feature 4. Moomoo AI. Another interesting feature inside the platform is Moomoo AI. This is basically an AI assistant built directly into the app that helps you research investments much faster. Instead of spending hours reading financial reports, company announcements, or market news, the AI can quickly summarize the most important information for you. For example, it can explain why the stock moved today, summarize company announcements and earnings reports, highlight important news affecting a company, analyze financial data and trends, and answer questions about stocks, sectors, or overall market. You can actually chat with the AI directly inside the app, almost like asking a research analyst questions. For example, you could ask things like, why did Nvidia stock move today? What are the risks of this company? How did this company perform last quarter? And the AI will generate a simple summary based on the market data and news. Another useful feature is that the AI can automatically scan huge amounts of market data and turn it into short daily summaries, helping you quickly see what's happening in the market without reading everything yourself. It can also highlight key trends, financial insights, and potential opportunities, which helps investors spot things they might have otherwise missed. Think of it like having a 24/7 AI research assistant inside your investing app. For beginners, it can make the research process much less overwhelming. And for more experienced investors, it can simply save a lot of time filtering through information. Of course, it doesn't give you financial advice and doesn't replace your own research. but it can be a really helpful tool for speeding up the process and staying informed about the market. Feature 5. Research and charting tools. Another thing Moomoo is well known for is its research and charting tools. Inside the platform, you get access to a wide range of information that helps you learn about companies and understand what's happening in the market. For example, the app includes stock charts, technical indicators, real-time market data, company financial information, analyst insights, and market news and updates. If you're a beginner, you don't need to use all these tools right away or at all if you don't want to. You can keep things simple by looking at the basic charts, company information, and market news when researching a stock or ETF. But as you become more experienced, the platform also has more advanced tools available. In my opinion, it's better to have more than you need than not enough. For example, Moomoo provides over 100 technical indicators and professional charting tools that investors can use to analyze trends and market behavior. One nice thing is that many of these advanced research tools are included for free inside the app, whereas some other investing platforms may charge extra for certain premium data and analytics features. So beginners can start simple, while more advanced investors still have the tools available if they want to dig deeper into the data and analyze opportunities more thoroughly. How beginners can buy their first stock on the Moomoo app. I'll now show you how to buy your first stock or ETF on the Moomoo app. Step 1. Open an account. If you don't already have a Moomoo account, click the special link in the description and it'll take you to the sign up page. And the good news is, right now, new investors can receive up to 38 free fractional shares when you make a qualifying deposit and meet other requirements. You'll also get $0 brokerage fees on Australian and US shares for the first 30 days, which is perfect for beginners. So click the special link below to claim all the free bonuses on screen. Once you're on the page, click claim now and sign up using your phone number or email. Then just follow the instructions on screen. They will then need to verify your identity. The whole process usually takes about 5 to 10 minutes for most Aussies. And once your account is verified, you'll be ready to start investing straight away. Step 2. Deposit money. Once your Moomoo account is set up, open the app and we'll need to add some money to it. You'll need to transfer funds from your bank account into your Moomoo account before you can start investing. Please note, in Australia, when you're using a CHESS-sponsored broker, the ASX usually requires a minimum investment of about $500 the first time you buy a particular stock or ETF. After that first purchase, you can usually buy smaller amounts of the same stock or ETF in the future. To deposit money, go to the Accounts tab at the bottom of the app. Then tap deposit and select the account you want to fund. In my case, I have 2 accounts, but depending on your setup, you may only see one. Next, choose how you want to transfer the money. You can fund your account using PayID or the standard BSB and account number bank transfer. I personally use PayID because it's usually faster, but either option works. Once the money arrives in your account, you'll be ready to place your first trade. Step 3. Buying your first stock. Now for the best part. Let's buy your first stock or ETF. If this is your first time, I'm very excited for you. Let's open the Moomoo app. Tap the Markets tab, then press the search icon at the top. From here, you can search for any stock or ETF you want to invest in. For this simple example, I'm going to search for VDHG, which is one of Australia's most popular all-in-one ETFs by assets under management. Just to be clear, this is not a recommendation to buy. I'm only using it as an example to show you how the process works. So type in the ticker VDHG and you'll see it appear on screen. There it is, let's click on it. When you open the page, you'll see a lot of information about the ETF, things like the price chart, company details, and other financial data. Now don't get intimidated by this. After a while, it will all make sense. So if you're new to investing, it's worth spending a bit of time exploring this page and getting familiar with some of the information available. So I would encourage you to have a little play around. When you're ready, click trade and select buy. This brings you to the order page. Now there are 2 main types of orders you can place: limit orders and market orders. A limit order lets you choose the exact price you want to buy at. For example, if VDHG is currently trading at around $72 per share, you could place a limit order at $70 per share. Your order will only go through if the price drops to that level. The downside is that the price may never reach that level, so your order might not go through for a long time or at all. The other option is a market order. A market order simply buys the shares at the best available price in the market, and it usually executes almost instantly. For beginners, a market order is usually the simplest option. So that's what we'll use for this example. Next, choose how many shares you want to buy. The quantity is simply the number of shares. If this is your first time buying this ETF, you need to buy at least enough shares to meet the $500 minimum investment rule on the ASX. For example, in this case, that would be 7 shares. You can also choose to buy by AUD amount. For example, if I want to invest $1,000 AUD, I can simply enter that amount. Since fractional shares are not available for Australian shares, the app will round to the nearest whole number of shares. In this case, $1,000 would buy you about 13 shares of VDHG. Next, we have the time in force, which determines how long your order stays active. But now, you can just leave it as day, which means the order is valid for the current trading day. Since we're using a market order, the trade should go through straight away anyway. Before placing the order, you can tap the fee icon here to see the brokerage fee. For this example, the fee is $3, which is quite low compared to many traditional brokers. Once everything looks correct and you're happy with it, click buy. You'll see a final summary of your order. So just double check the details. If everything looks right, click confirm. Within a few seconds, the order should go through and you'll receive a confirmation notification and email. And that's it. Congratulations, you just bought your first stock. It's as easy as that. In my opinion, Moomoo can be a good option for several types of investors. First, it's great for people who want low brokerage fees, especially if you plan to invest regularly. It's also useful for investors who want to buy both Australian and US shares from the same platform. If you like doing your own research, the app provides charts, market data, and company information to help you analyze stocks. At the same time, the platform is beginner friendly with a simple interface that makes it easy to place your first few investments. But it also has more advanced tools available as you gain experience, so it's a platform that can grow with you over time. So whether you're just getting started or becoming a more experienced investor, Moomoo is a platform worth considering. And quick disclaimer, this video is for educational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. Any stocks or ETFs I mention are used as examples only and not by recommendations. Please always do your own research before making any investing decisions. And if you'd like financial advice, please go speak with a professional. By the way, if you're enjoying this video and you made it this far, comment the words orange cow down below so I know who you are. And if you're new around here, what are you waiting for, mate? Hit that subscribe button and join this awesome community of like-minded people who are all trying to level up their life. Also, make sure you're following me on Instagram and X, where I post heaps more lighthearted and sometimes funny finance content. And if you want to go a bit deeper, you can sign up to my free email newsletter, Aussie Money Club, where once a week I'll send you some money tips, major news in the market, or any cool updates from me. And if you want a more in-depth guide on how to start investing in Australia this year, check out this video on screen where I'll show you how the stock market works and how to get started as a beginner. And as always, thank you for watching, I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video.